our region's business, improving our economy, creating jobs and strengthening communities, innovation, collaboration, transformation, and the people making it happen. Join us as we take a closer look at our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, an e-commerce pioneer on how businesses can better protect themselves from cyber attacks. Plus, healthcare on demand, the technology that's making it possible. But first, women shattering the glass ceiling in the chemical industry. Pittsburgh-based Covestro turned heads earlier this year when it promoted not one but two women to senior leadership positions running major business units in as stereotypically a male-dominated industry as one can imagine. Christine Bryant is Senior Vice President for Polyurethanes for North America. Aleta Richards succeeded Christine as Head of Coatings, Adhesives, and Specialties at Covestro, where both sit on the executive leadership team. And welcome. Good to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
For folks who don't know Covestro all that well, Christine, what is it exactly the company's all about?
So Covestro is an industrial chemical company. We supply raw materials to a lot of major markets. We provide products that go into rigid and semi-rigid foam, like mattresses, automotive seating, those sorts of things. We also supply plastics, raw materials for plastics for automotive, medical applications. And in addition to that, we also supply products that go into coatings, adhesives, and specialties. So industrial materials that go into bridge coatings, let's say, for the bridge that's right behind you, for example,
exactly, yeah.
Or your automobile. So that's what we supply.
Wow, and I read somewhere that you're never more than 6 feet from some product or material that Covestro has had a little bit of an input
That's
into,
correct.
right?
Absolutely.
So you're kind of everywhere. So and so then your roles within the company. Can you tell me a little bit more about exactly what you do, Aleta?
So within the company, we have 3 significant business units. The business unit that I am responsible for is our coating, adhesives, and specialties business. So that's coating raw materials, anything going into industrial adhesives, those raw materials, as well as specialty films. So those would be the films that are on your ID or your passport, in addition to some thermoplastics and some elastomers. So if you're thinking about the wheels on roller coasters,
okay,
but they could be not coated, but they have an exterior elastomer kind of product to make sure that you are safe when you're on the roller coaster.
Wow, well, that's yeah. We'll talk about a gamut of applications. Yes. How about you, Christine? You're part of the company now.
I am. So I left this particular role. So I was running the coatings, adhesives, and specialties business unit up until February of this year, and then I moved over to take care of the polyurethanes business unit. And what that is, as I alluded to earlier, our business unit supplies materials that go into foam, predominantly foam, construction materials. So it's our largest business unit for North America and globally, because we supply a significant amount of raw materials into some of these applications.
That business pretty good these days? These businesses in general?
I'd say business has been pretty good. The economy has been very good for the past few years. Automotive and construction segments has been very good. So certainly our business has, all 3 business units, quite frankly, have benefited from the growth in the economy.
Yeah, Covestro, a big German company, but you two are helping to run all of North America, basically, out of Pittsburgh?
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's exciting, quite a sweep. Did both of you grow up as little girls just dreaming of the day you would one day lead major chemical companies or business units of major chemical companies?
I have to say that was not on my radar when I was a little girl. Just kind of going through school, getting a business degree, and then having the opportunity to move at Mobay at the time.
Okay, Mobay, which was the old Bayer Monsanto joint venture a long time ago, right?
And I think the interesting thing about chemicals is, if you're excited about doing business, it's just, to me, another business. And so if you understand and you get your degree in business, and you can appreciate and work very well with some of the best scientists and PhDs in the industry, that's kind of how we evolved.
Wow. Christine, how about for you?
Well, I honestly never thought that I would be in such a position. Originally, I don't think I even really wanted to be in chemistry, but I found out
Now, were you
chemistry,
a chemical engineering kind of background? Was that
chemistry,
your,
mathematics,
Okay.
chemical engineering. But I realized, you know, I would say in high school, this was something that I really enjoyed. So that's my background is technical. Aleta's is more on the business side, and quite frankly, I really enjoy the industry.
Yeah.
Something new every day.
Now, you've been at it for how long within the industry since you got out of school?
So I hate to admit it, but I've been in this company and in this industry for well over 25 years.
Well, I was thinking, going back to Mobe, it's got to be the same kind of timeline,
Absolutely.
right? Well, was it very different in terms of the role women were playing in the industry when the two of you were getting your start?
Yeah, I remember when we first started, at that time you really didn't have that many vice presidents or senior vice presidents, but you had directors. And at the time there really weren't any vice presidents or directors that were women. And I can remember one woman that became, within our polycarbonates, our plastics division, kind of the first director at the time in regional product management. And it was pretty significant. So
The
things have been
moment really
changing
showed
since then.
the potential and the pathway
Yep.
and whatever else.
Very similar. I mean, there were times whenever I would go to a convention and I would be the only woman. So things have changed quite dramatically in our industry and even in our company, where a significant portion or percentage of the folks that we're hiring are women, and quite frankly, we're also looking for quite a bit of diversity in our company.
Well, it has seemed to be a real priority for Covestro, especially in recent years, to really put this notion front and center. What do you think Covestro as a company gets out of having all those different perspectives in the room at the table?
Well, for us, diversity is critical. We realize that single-minded, you know, coming up with the same types of ideas all the time, I mean, it's only going to get us so far. So having diversity of thought coming from not only men and women, but also from different backgrounds, different geographical locations as well, really helps us to create a very innovative environment. And that's what we strive for at our company. Innovation is critical to the success of our company.
Fundamentally what you're all about. And I understand
Yes.
you're making this idea of inclusiveness and diversity the real theme of, what is it, the big Think 30 conference that's coming up this fall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so this year Think 30 is a conference for us to talk about and address some sustainability items for the region. And so this year the theme is inclusion, because for us to move forward and show success and progress, we need to make sure we include all the voices and all the opinions and all the companies and everybody. And so that's the point or the focus for the conference.
Very good. If it works for Covestro, hopefully it can work for the region as a whole. Aleta Richards, Christine Bryant from Covestro, thank you both so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And next up, staying ahead of cyber attacks. Tips from an e-commerce pioneer. Stay with us.